Hey,
Hello.
are we live?
I think so.
Sorry, I'm
See
not
us?
flipping anybody
I
off.
know.
I was crossing my fingers. There we go. So anyway, let's
Greetings.
see. We're trying this from a computer again. Stream health. No, we got nothing.
That's an end live video.
Ah, status change from preview to live.
Preview live to live.
There we go. Hey,
Hey.
guys.
Hello.
I think we're live.
We think.
I
We
don't
don't
know.
know.
I suppose I should try to check over here, huh?
How are you?
So I
Happy
haven't done my
Friday.
testing yet.
I
That's why
know. It was
we're
a busy day today.
struggling a little bit here.
Had a lot to do today. A lot with homeschooling, and we can talk about that another day, I guess.
Anyway, if you're watching, drop us a message so we can see.
I guess I can check.
I'm trying. Oh yeah, I see us on my
Yay!
tablet. Ah,
Okay.
see, there we
Now
go.
we don't want to-
I know,
Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to get out of it. No,
Anyway.
there we go. Anyway, how's
What's
it going?
up? How are you? Welcome back to your daily dose. I'm Julie.
I'm Sean, Frater MTO. Sorry, man. And yeah, I think we're gonna get back to some real magical discussions next week. But today we are kind of feeding off of yesterday when we talked about some of our favorite occult and magical themed movies.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Not your I think I'm going a little overboard with the paranoia. No, I'm not. Just because I'm lysoling everything and cleaning everything all the time and training everybody how to. So
Anyway,
today we're going to talk about some of our favorite shows. So you can head into the weekend with some fun stuff
yeah, so TV shows and or
that are occult leaning
series
or
today.
yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the majority of our favorite series and shows always get canceled.
I
All the good
know.
ones get canceled.
I know. I have to bring up my most recent favorite show,
What was that?
even though it's not a cult. Travelers.
Travelers was good.
It was awesome.
It was good.
If you haven't seen Travelers, check it out. It's on Netflix.
I think so.
It's on Netflix. But yeah.
That was awesome.
Sorry. I'm still trying to double check
What
that
he's
we're
trying to
actually
do.
live.
There we go.
So anyway, I'll go first. No, you go first because you have more shows than I do.
Yeah, they're not all my favorites, but still, if you are in self-isolation, quarantine, shelter in place, then this might be something good for you. A spattering of everything. They're not quite my favorites.
Uh-oh. I have the wrong list up. Hang on. Carry on.
I
Actually,
remember
I
most
have
of
to
my
go here.
list.
So go for it. Go on.
So my list for to start with one of my favorite ones is Salem. I like Salem a lot. It kind of took a turn in the last season, kind of got a little outside of the range of
Yeah, they deviated from their normal formula
yeah, and
a little
I
bit.
think the story arc just kind of went a little
Yeah.
wonky there. So I really liked it, especially the first few seasons were
Yes.
fantastic.
And I enjoyed them as a not a witch person. Just because they seemed really based on what I know, particularly from you, um, about witchcraft, a lot of the things they were doing were
Really
very
well done.
legitimate and very well done. So I really dug it.
Yeah, so that was one of mine. What about yours?
Um, I think my first one is got to be Dresden Files. Yes. Dresden Files. it was a sci-fi show. It has been available on Netflix at different times. I don't think it's there right now. You'd have to buy it on like Google Play. But Dresden Files was really good, based on a series of books by James Butcher, or Jim Butcher. Yeah, I think there's 18 or 20, 22 books in the series now. I think he's wrapping it up with the last two right now. He says he's going to wrap up the whole Dresden storyline. So, really enjoyed the books. I've read all but the last one that's out now. Kind of have fallen off the Dresden wagon here, because there was a long time in between books,
Right.
and the books are really good, well written, sarcastic as heck, funny. They're the kind of books you'll be reading and all of a sudden you just chuckle out loud. They're really good, but super formulaic in that like every other book dealt with like the same group of baddies, and it got a little repetitive. But overall, fantastic series for folk interested in magical things and a decent TV show. On the note of a TV show, I believe it's Fox, 20th Century Fox, just bought the rights to the Dresden Files licensing.
No way.
So they may be coming out with a new series.
Can't redo that.
And the latest
It's so
book,
good.
the latest book actually has a trailer on YouTube for it. They did some like footage shots. So anyway, enough about that.
Next, I really liked Witches of East End. That was a really good one. It has some Nordic type of magic and some witchcraft within it, a little bit of everything. So that was fun. And lots of eye candy. Just FYI.
All right, my next one is, by the way, chime in if you got a favorite show. Hopefully we'll see your chat and mention it as well. I think my next one is going to be October Faction. Yeah,
really
it was
done.
really good.
So at first we were very confused about what's going on. We're like, what? Something's got to be going on with the kids. Won't spoil it for you. But there's a lot of sorcery. There's a lot of suggestions for
monster hunting,
spirit possession, monster hunting. Some pretty cool
it's
stuff.
a recent show too. It's on Netflix. October Faction.
It has. I can't remember their names.
I know.
We're terrible.
And he's been in a couple of things.
Yeah.
He's got a really unique look, the main character. And he's just been in a couple of roles, but he's really good in this role. I really like him.
Yeah. It was good.
And he doesn't look like a monster hunter, right? He doesn't have that look of somebody like that. He's very deceiving in his.
And we don't even get to that. Yeah. Necessarily until later. So sorry again for the spoilers. We should probably put a disclaimer at the beginning of this.
All right.
Next, Penny Dreadful. I love good. Penny Dreadful. It's a really good one. I'm a huge fan, but I'm not a good fan because we haven't finished it.
Yeah, we've only got a few episodes left. Yeah. We watched all but the last couple. Off. We had a lot going on in our lives. Getting ready to hit the road and stuff.
Homeschooling our children.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That's a lot of work.
The last few months we've been on the road, and then for the months before that, when we were trying to binge watch stuff, we were prepping. Yeah, it was crazy. Prepping. Next. Let's see. My next one is going to be Carnivale. You haven't watched that? You've seen season one, I think. Season one. Yeah, Carnivale was
we have it, though.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. It was an HBO series. If you have HBO, it's probably still available. I'm guessing they're streaming it. We haven't had HBO since we canceled Game of Thrones. Anyway.
We didn't cancel Game of Thrones.
Well, since we canceled our subscription once Game of Thrones ended. That's the only reason we have. But Carnivale, apocalyptic TV series, follows a traveling, a traveling carnival during the Dust Bowl times. post World War One, pre World War Two. It's a cool show, and like Clancy Brown is in it. He's one of the main stars. He's really good. Yeah, and it's one of those shows that like you're pretty sure after the first like maybe halfway through the first season or so, you're pretty sure you know who the good guy and bad guy are, and then by the end of season one, not quite so sure who's the good guy and who's the bad guy, and they kind of continue that into season two. So it was the kind of show that like I think they got notice of the cancellation. They'd had two seasons. They got notified of the cancellation before they finished filming, so they were able to kind of wrap it up by the end. So it kind of gives you a finished aspect, but you know they didn't really wrap up everything they wanted to. It is what it is.
What else I got? Oh, Sabrina. Well,
There's two Sabrinas.
yeah.
There's three Sabrinas. One of them's a comic book.
Yeah.
That's what the other two are based on.
So the Adventures of Sabrina are
the new chilling adventures of Sabrina. To be.
Yes. I'm.
It's good.
It is.
I dig it.
Witchcraft.
Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other things. Bringing people back to life. Zombies. Pretty cool. Was it fun?
I will go with my next one with the Magicians.
The Magicians.
Magicians.
I can take it.
There's a real.
Do you know any of them? I don't.
Overall, it's a good show. There are periods of it that kind of feel like it's really stretching out.
And Julia is a character that the first couple seasons, like, oh
Hater.
my gosh, yes.
And then lover.
Yes. I don't know why I love her though. I love to hate her. Maybe she just she always looks so like she's I can't believe all of this is happening.
How'd that go again?
I'm doing it again.
But anyway, The Magicians. I like it. I dug it.
Good.
It's on Sci-Fi, I believe. All but the last season is
Who's blonde? I love her.
on Netflix. I do too.
Of course he does.
Wow.
Kind of like her too. Next. Oh, all right. Let me pick one here. So I don't know if you're into like teenage witchy shows, but I really liked Secret Circle.
Totally.
Really?
Oh my god.
I really like them.
I'm totally into it.
I'm really into Secret Circle. So I really do like Secret Circle. It has a good premise. I like the fact that it really relies on the tying together of people and within a coven. Speaks to my soul.
A bit soap opera-ish, for sure.
Oh,
a bit
yeah.
soapish.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Like teenage soap opera.
Yeah, teenage soapish. Like
it's not like
902
soap operas.
Oh my gosh, whatever. Like
90210.
90210. 90210.
It is very 90210.
With magic.
Yes.
And witchcraft. Let's see. I'm gonna go with a little different one here. Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a cartoon, of which I have seen probably about 75% of them.
I haven't watched anything.
I dig them. I mean,
I watched it when I was
it's
younger.
clans of people that have one. You know, one clan has the ability to bend or do magic, basically with earth. One with air. They've been wiped out except for one. Aang, he's the last airbender. With fire and with water. And Aang is also the new Avatar, who is the one person who exists every generation that's able to unify and bend all of the elements. But he's still learning, and so it's a lot about his process of learning how to become the Avatar. The Avatar is the one that
on the nature of the elements, and how they work, and how you connect to them. Even
really well written. Cool. Really well written. A lot of the people who wrote that have gone on to write a lot of the TV shows we're talking about now. So it has real solid writing. Hey, Ken, if you're on, I see you dropped us a line Tales from the Crypt, which is cool. I dig Tales of the Crypt.
Yes.
Not all of them are real magical or occult, but certainly mysterious, if you will, supernatural. Can you drop us a line and let us know if everything looks smooth on your end? We're,
Sorry for all these testing things
we're I'm getting these blips, and our video and our audio statistics keep resetting. So I'm wondering if we're streaming smoothly. See, it just did again. See, it just reset to zeros. Are we smooth in streaming, or does it keep resetting? Let us know. I mean, the timer still says 16 minutes solid, but anyway. Ken, let us know if we're dropping and glitching, or if it looks good. But until then, we're going to keep going.
Speaking of soap opera-ish, one that's a little bit kitschy that I love, and the magic within it is subtle, and she's just kind of psychic, is Good Witch. Yeah. I like Good Witch. It's one of those ones that I can put on while I'm doing laundry and don't have to pay a whole lot of attention to. But I do get into it.
You do laundry?
We're quarantined. We haven't done laundry in a little bit. Been about what, 3 weeks?
No, 2 weeks since we left Phoenix.
Oh yeah, I guess we did do some right before that, but getting there.
Yeah, Jamie said it's blipping a little bit for her. Sorry about that, guys. Not sure.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Out of our control.
Sorry.
All right. I'm gonna go back in time. Gotta go back in time. Bewitched.
Yes.
Samantha. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Preteen crush going on there was Samantha. Yeah, buddy. No, I was a preteen having a crush on her.
Right. He usually doesn't say crush.
Yeah, I dug Samantha.
Yes.
Yeah. Not real magic, but yeah, it was cool. It was fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
I get something to watch.
Definitely fun.
At home. What else I got?
What you got?
Ooh. So, American Horror Story. I like.
Yeah, we're dropping in and out.
Gosh. All right. Hold that thought. We got to go back to the.
Do you want to reset?
Tablet. Yeah.
Or you want to just finish it out?
Well, let's finish it out.
Yeah, we're just gonna finish this out today.
We'll put a list
in Dora. No, not in Dora.
Oh, Alan, you're awesome. I dig it. And Dora's a badass.
Yeah, you didn't rush on Dora.
No. Maybe you did.
Hey, each their own. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Sorry for the glitching, guys. We'll just finish this one out, and
we'll say
we have some more. See, it just reset. We have some more testing to do, and we'll try to have that straightened out by next week. So if you're on this weekend, you may see us jumping on doing some test lives.
I have a couple herbal things that I'm doing this weekend as well, so I'll get those recorded and out. They're not live videos, so keep your eye out for that. And then I'm going to be on a podcast here shortly, so we will close this out.
No, not yet. Let's finish some of our list. I'm going to finish some of my list. So.
Yeah, I will.
All right. I'm going to go with the OA.
Yeah, I don't know if that was really considered quite magical.
It's definitely borderline. I tell you what,
like
though.
A ritual dance movements to change.
And they change dimensions.
Spoiler alert.
But I'll say this too. An aspect of the OA that I hadn't thought about till just now. We've talked in a lot of our previous videos about isolation being a part of it. And there's a period in the OA where they become extremely isolated. Not of their own accord, but yeah, so I'm going to throw the OA out there.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it has a huge following. It was canceled after season 2,
Oh,
and there was this huge fan rush to try to get it brought back. And in fact, everybody thought when it was canceled that the cancellation was part of the show. That they were basically pulling a fast one on the fans by saying it was canceled when it was really going to come back, but it turned out it was actually canceled. Phenomenal show. It sucks you in big time.
I really like. I don't know if it's necessarily considered occult horror, but The Haunting of Hill House was fantastic. There's some spirits and ghostly supernatural things going on. A
Bordering
lot
on
of
supernatural more than occult, but
right,
yeah, it's a
more
good show.
supernatural, and a lot of the trauma that goes along with the characters within the show. It's just a phenomenal watch. Watch it. I've watched it. I don't know how many times now. I love it.
All right, I'm going to throw out another one that's a little different. The Stand
Ah,
TV miniseries.
yeah, definitely Battle for.
I mean, there's not a lot of actual
Evil.
there's not a lot of actual magic in it. I mean,
right.
One character does do a little bit of transformations and different things.
Psychic things.
Yep, yeah. But you know, especially with the coronavirus.
End of the world apocalyptic.
Yeah, I dig The Stand.
Stuff.
Based
Not
on a
that
book
we're
by
there
Stephen King.
right now. Yes. Very good.
What else you got?
I got, if you have an app called Shudder, there's a show that I've watched a bit of. I haven't finished it, but I do like it. It's called The Discovery of Witches. Is based on a book. Pretty good one. You haven't watched any of that.
Ow. Haven't seen. I bit my lip.
Get going. Yeah. Then what?
I'm going to throw out Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. BBC series based on a book. A little slow. It's British, and it's well, British shows tend to be their humor is very different, and their style of making things is very different. They're much more patient than we are, so
that
they can
true.
stretch a show out and make it a little bit more not as exciting as some of our shows, and it's
we're Americans.
Anyway, gotta have it now. But yeah, Jonathan Strange, Dr. Norrell. It's based on a book, and Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
That one.
It's a good show. Good series. It's a mini series. I think it's 8 parts, 6 parts or 8 parts. There's talk about a season 2 coming out. Season 1 basically wrapped up most of the book, and then we're talking about extending it past that. But yeah, it's kind of.
I like Haven. Haven was again a little bit of occultism, more like life and reincarnation type of a concept. Also a Stephen King series or book. But yes, that's a good one.
I saw the first few and kind of dug it, but then you binge watched it while I was sleeping.
While you were sleeping, insomnia's.
Okay, I have a disclaimer for this one. Not the greatest series ever made by any stretch of the imagination.
Which one?
Acting is not the greatest. Writing is not the greatest. It's foreign and it's subtitled. Jinn. It's. I'm not even sure I know where it takes place technically.
Right.
But somewhere in the Middle East, and it brings in the jinn of the desert, fire spirits, and they are at the crux of the story. Interesting show to watch. I definitely wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it was interesting. And if you're looking for something a little different that's not American made, might be worth a watch. It's on Netflix, I think.
Yes.
Netflix or Hulu, but
I think
it's on Netflix.
I like. Did I say? Yeah, I did say that one. Sorry. The Devil's Bride is on Netflix. Something I haven't watched yet, but I've been a bit intrigued by it. If you have seen it, let me know.
Constantine.
Constantine.
Sadly, a series I have not finished. Watched the first few episodes. It's on my list to complete, like in the next few weeks.
If we have time.
But yeah, it's much more true to the comics than the movie. We talked about the movie yesterday in the Daily Dose. But I dug it. Deals a lot with goetic magic, and it's on
Lucifer.
my binge watch list during this time of isolation.
Yes.
Lucifer.
Lucifer's another good one. I love
Yeah,
Lucifer.
I dig Lucifer.
Yes.
Yeah, we're about what, almost halfway through the
Haven't finished that
series.
either.
But well, it's a long one. It's like 6 seasons, full 22, 24 episode seasons. So it's a lot of shows, and we've watched we're about halfway through it, I think.
This isn't on my list, but would you consider Lost to be occult-ish?
Ooh.
There's
I
some
would almost call it.
numbers
There's
that
some
kind of,
mystical stuff to it.
yeah,
I'm not sure I'd call it occult,
yeah, I
but
wouldn't. Well, spirits
we'll
that
give it a
tend to live
pass.
on. I love Lost. If you haven't seen Lost, it's a lot. It's pretty controversial just because a lot of people despise the way it ended. But I guess Game of Thrones is the same way. So check it out. Game of Thrones. Did we say that?
No, that's much more fantasy, and
Yeah.
the magic really only comes in with like Melisandre, like the last season or so. There's just not a lot to it magically.
Right.
It's
Melisandre.
sort of accepted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that magic is there, but you don't never really see it.
What did we just watch?
I'm gonna go with The Order.
The Order.
Another one I haven't finished, but it's sort of a magician's wannabe. The acting's not quite as good. The storylines aren't quite as good,
The acting of the magician.
and it's very much
Would you
more
guys?
soap opera-ish. But The Order, it has a very similar kind of feel to it that the magicians do, um, and a very similar premise about a school that's for magic and stuff. So that was kind of
What else? If you want to look into some historical stuff and you've got Netflix, take a look at Witches: A Century of Murder. Kind of delves into the witch trials. Um, so yeah, a good one to check out.
fun. One on my list that's not really. Yeah, it's another borderline one, but Sanctuary. Um, Sanctuary was it came out right after the Stargate SG-1 series finished, and it was Amanda Tapping's transition into a different show. If you're familiar with Stargate, lasted a few seasons. I don't know exactly how many, but sort of one of those kind of like the Librarians. Hunt down magical items, kind of keep everything in order. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type character is part of it, and kind of a Penny Dreadful in the modern day type of feel. It's a good show. It had a good budget. Special effects were good. Acting was decent. Stories were all right. So it was all right. What else you got? I'm out. That's all I
Are you
got.
out? What else I
I'm
got?
out.
Charmed. The original Charmed. It's good.
I've watched all. I think I've watched all but part of the last season.
I've watched it all a few
Probably more than
times.
once.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, one of the ones
Yeah.
that I like to have on in the background. Listening. I know, right?
That's where she gets her rhyming spell work from. Makes
You might want to do that.
Oh.
Cool.
How about Hemlock Grove?
Hemlock
You want to bring
Grove.
that one up? That one's good.
The Gates.
And the
The Gates
Gates.
was good.
Hemlock Grove and the Gates. Those two have a real similar feel to me.
Yeah, they do.
But they're very different storylines and very different characters. That just somehow the production value has this very similar feel. but those are good too. I think that's pretty much it.
I think that's all we got. If you have any other good ones, drop them below. We'll have some stuff for Monday. Head into that.
Yep, not sure what we're going to do yet. We'll be doing some planning this weekend for all of next week, and we'll be doing some testing on our live. So, tell you what, if you do see us going live over the weekend, feel free to jump on.
Say hey.
We'll probably be doing testing like from a phone with different accounts, but it would help if any of you see us live, jump on, and let us know if it looks like it's smooth or if it's glitching or whatever. Because
Whatever you do, let us know.
here's our thing: our one platform that streaming has seemed to work solid on is a tablet, and it seems to work great from that. But we're trying to do it from a better platform, and it's just.
Sorry about that. Thanks for sticking with us and
Yep.
dealing with it.
Well, I tell you what, Sora Mim is going to be on a podcast tonight. She was going to be presenting at the Mystical Minds Conference in San Francisco this weekend. But of course, that conference was canceled. So what they're doing instead is they're bringing all the presenters onto different podcasts, one tonight, one tomorrow, and one Sunday. And she's going to be on the magical one tonight. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be doing. I don't think anybody knows.
It's a broad discussion.
Yeah, broad discussion.
Magic in general.
Yeah,
So
kind of an open platform. So
be there.
we will I will post
Ed the Pagan's podcast.
I will. Yeah, Ed the Pagan podcast. I will post a link to the Facebook invite for it. Actually, I already did. Yeah. On the Yield Magic Shop page, there's a link to Ed the Pagan's podcast for the Mystical Minds show tonight. And she's going to be on there in about 25 minutes. So feel free to tune in on that. And other than that, we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.